Hi, Terry. Good evening, fans. This is your girl from Mel'S Mat Chat, and this is episode 329 of the podcast. You're probably wondering what the fuck am I doing here on a Wednesday night? Well, you can thank WWE right now because they're going to be going on at 5 a.m. on fucking Saturday. Problem is that I'm also going to be seeing my son. So I'm not going to be able to do a preview and predictions at a decent hour. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going live today. I'm going live Friday. And then I'm going live on fucking as soon as I get home from seeing my son on Saturday. So thanks, WWE. But this is exactly what's going to have happen. Anyway, it's hopefully going to be a very short situation because I only have to cover SmackDown from last week. I also have to cover Rampage, and then Collision was canceled. Collision was preempted, so we didn't see it, no nothing and whatnot. So I'm going to go right into Dynamite, and I'm going to get you out of here. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. So sit down, sit a spell. I know this is, but I'm going to be going to bed right afterwards, and I don't want to have that much. So that is that. So that's the plan for the whole rest of the weekend, I gotta push this down. There. Oh, so much better. So that's what's gonna go on here today. Again, I'm gonna be going live right after SmackDown on Friday night at around 10:15, 10:30. Then right as soon as I get home, I'm gonna hopefully have everything set up for the review. I'm going to try to do it while I'm getting ready in the mornings and try to watch it. And it's going to be a process, but just keep on the whole situation. So, please, while you're here, please like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live or upload a video, you will know about it. Please follow me on Threads, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Cameo. All Mel's Mat Chat. It's very simple. Mel's Mat Chat. It's all one word, all lowercase. I got you. I got you easy. Okay. So go do that. Please do me a favor. Also go check out the people over at Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Visit their website for all your beard essentials. I mean, before we know it, it's going to, be graduation season, confirmation, communion, whatnot, any bat mitzvahs, everything else in between. People guys who have a beard already are going to need it, but also we got to think about the women have beards. I don't honestly. And what do you call that? We just got to acknowledge them and include them. So for the women and the men, Mr. Zally Boy, hey. So we got to make sure that they're included. So please do me a favor and go check out Maestro Classics for all your beard essentials. Also, please go check out Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Get all your artillery to murder your thirst, which they have spring water, unflavored salsa water, flavored salsa water, iced tea, and now they have liquid they have these packets to make your drinks, like that IV thing to make your water or your flavored salsa water or whatever into a sports drink. So everything you can get is on the website, liquiddeath.com. Now, if you're a coffee aficionado just like me, please go do me a favor and check out the people over at Deathwish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. Visit their website for all your coffee essentials. And if you're into the skulls, like I love skulls, they're awesome. So it's a match made in hell. Also, please do me a favor. Go check out, if you're in the independent wrestling situation. They you like other promotions other than the big ones. We have one here in the tri-state area, House of Glory. Please go check out their upcoming events, which is like legitimately, like they're off to the races this year. Holy shit, it's crazy. HOG Reckoning will be on March 2nd. We have the debuts of Mustafa Ali and former TNA World Champion Alex Shelley. We also have, for the Crown Jewel Championship, Lo Sombra versus Lance Anoa'i. Hog World Heavyweight Champion match, Mike Santana versus Penta El Zero Miano. So go to get your tickets at hogwrestling.net. There's going to be a WrestleMania presence with House of Glory, and they're going to be doing a show with Wrestling Revolver. They will be doing it on April 5th. They will be having Mustafa Ali versus Amazing Red, Alex Shelley versus the Hog champion, Mike Santana. The Rascals, Grizzle Young Veterans will be there, and Mike Macklin versus Charles Mason. So go get your tickets at, I think, WrestleRevolverTickets.com. Also, Saturday, May 25th, Boston. We are going to have El Helio Vikingo, the AAA Mega Heavyweight Champion from AAA Mexico. Now, also, if you want to watch all these events, please go and download the app of the Premier app for only $9.99 a month. And that is it. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the whole situation. If there's anything that has happened this week with WWE, it will be on the preview and predictions. I do the go-home shows of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown going into a PLE. So you're going to find that out on Friday at around 10:15, 10:30, right after SmackDown. So look forward to that. But we're going to just basically cover 3 shows tonight, which are SmackDown, Rampage, and Dynamite. And then I'm going to get you out of here, and then I'm going to bed. I have to be up really early tomorrow. I have a doctor's appointment, which I was going to get up at 3, but I think I'm going to get up at about 4. Because I can't put makeup on it, because I got to go to the dermatologist, and they like to see my skin flawless, which is going to be basically all my medication, my serums and shit like that, and some sunscreen. I may do my eyes again. I don't know, depending on the situation. But that's neither here nor there. Okay. Let's get to SmackDown, and then we're going to get to the 2 and we're going to do the monthly rankings from AEW. So that is also on the agenda. Just let me. This is what happens when you have a post-nasal drip. So, sorry. Okay, SmackDown. from last week. Ah, nuts. I went right into the wrong one. All right. The lineup was for the lineup for SmackDown was the undisputed WWE champion, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and the WWE legend, The Rock, are set to appear on the show. Men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, WWE United States champion Logan Paul versus The Miz. Men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Kevin Owens versus the Judgment Day's Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Naomi versus Alba Fire. Shotzi was supposed to be in that, but she is hurt and she's out in 6 to 9 months. And I want to send my, best wishes, prayers to her. Totally bummed about that. Women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Tiffany Stratton versus LWO member Zelina Vega. So, SmackDown show opens up with Corey Graves welcoming the fans. Footage showed of The Rock arriving to the arena from earlier today is shown. Majority of the crowd was responded with more of babyface reaction than a heel reaction. Kevin Owens then makes his way down to the ring, and we head to the ringside for our first match in the evening, which is a men's elimination qualifying match, which Kevin Owens will be taking on Dominic Mysterio. And we start off the match with both men taking turns putting each other in submission holds before Owens nails Dominic with a shoulder tackle. Dominic then finds himself on the outside, but makes his way back inside the ring and tries to hit Owens with a boot on his midsection. Owens is able to stop Dominic's attempt and place him in a side headlock, then hits Dominic with a shoulder tackle. Owens then follows up with an arm drag, but Dominic reverses it and hits Owens with a Hurricane Rana and a drop kick. Owens then clotheslines Dominic out of the ring and goes to fly. Just 1 second. Hi, Chris. Welcome. Hopefully you'll be a good boy tonight. So anyway, Dominic is able to move out of the way before Owens can fly. Then Dominic sends Owens' head bouncing off the ring apron and hits Owens with a right hand to his head. Owens then sends Dominic back in the ring, but is greeted by R-Truth, who appeared out of nowhere. Yes, go watch Dynamite tomorrow. Remember, like and share, please. Dominic then takes advantage and attacks Owens and sends him back into the ring. Owens then delivers some right hands on Dominic's midsection. Dominic and Owens then exchange right hands on one another before Owens lands several elbows on Dominic and a clothesline. Owens then hits Dominic with several stomps, then levels him with a clothesline on the outside and follows that up with a running senton. Owens then sends Dominic back in the ring and hits Dominic with a cannonball, then climbs to the top rope and hits Dominic with a frog splash. Owens then goes for a pin, but Dominic kicks out. Dominic then hits a facebuster on Owens, then follows up with a three amigos. Owens is able to counter the third suplex into his own three amigos. Dominic is able to stop Owens from executing the third suplex, then hits the prize fighter with a DDT. Dominic then climbs to the top rope and looks to hit a frog splash. Owens is able to roll out of the way, then hits a swanton bomb on Dominic. Owens then goes for another pin, but Dominic kicks out. Owens then looks for a stunner, but Dominic answers then that back with a kick and a 619. Dominic goes for a pin, but Owens kicks out. Dominic then tells R-Truth to grab the chair for him, and Truth does so from the timekeeper's area. Truth then sets the chair on the outside and sits on it. Owens then takes advantage, hits a super kick on Dominic, a pop-up power bomb for the 1, 2, 3. During that whole situation, he says, "You're the member of the Judgment Day," so he can go and help him. I knew that wasn't going to help. What you've thought about the VP of AEW? What I heard about her, she's not going to make a fucking bit of difference. Obviously, she wasn't making a difference at WWE, so let AEW have sloppy seconds. That's what TK does. Sloppy seconds, basically. So then after the match, R-Truth celebrates with Kevin Owens. We then head backstage where Drew McIntyre is being interviewed by Kyla Braxton. McIntyre says he needs to win the Elimination Chamber match before LA Knight walks in and says McIntyre wants to talk about his WrestleMania moment being stolen from him. He will steal the moment from McIntyre once again. McIntyre and Knight then continue going back and forth until officials appear to separate them. Video footage is shown of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman arriving at the building earlier today. The Tribal Chief seems to be in good spirits and looks happy to see Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. She wasn't doing a good job in the first place. So what the fuck is she going to do a good job with AEW? She wasn't good at her fucking job. Seriously. If she was, she'd still be there. We don't need her. TK will find out the hard way. United States champion Logan Paul was then shown walking in the arena earlier today. The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne and the big strong boy Tyler Bate were then interviewed backstage. Pete Dunne says things were going great and last week was proof of that. Dunne also says all is left to do is win the undisputed tag team titles at the Elimination Chamber event. Bate then named their tag team the New Catch Republic. Dominic Mysterio then shows up out of nowhere and says they won't beat anyone in the Judgment Day. Bate and Dunne then challenged Mysterio and R-Truth to a match next week, but Dominic storms off. We then get an entrance for the next match for the Women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, which is Tiffany Stratton versus LWO's Zelina Vega. Well, when she got let go, she wasn't under Vince McMahon, so apparently that's a moot point. She was just recently let go. So the match with Vega and Stratton starts off with Vega hitting a back elbow on Stratton, then following up with a Hurricane Rana off the second rope. Stratton then answers back with a body slam, but Vega manages to trip her. The action spills to the outside. Vega sends Stratton's head bouncing off the ring apron. Vega then follows up that with an arm drag using the ring apron for extra momentum before hitting a springboard moonsault and taking notice of Legado del Fantasma watching the action from the crowd. She quit? Yeah, she probably couldn't cut it. Or she was probably sleeping with Vince or fucking Laurinaitis. Anyway, she was terrible. Fucking soap opera writer. Do we need a soap opera writer? No, we don't. LWO then shows up at ringside as Vega hits a clothesline to Stratton. Vega then sends Stratton into the ropes and goes for a 619, but Stratton avoids it. Vega then lands a DDT on Stratton, but Stratton answers that back with a Alabama slam that sets up the prettiest moonsault ever. Vega then was able to hit a 619 to Stratton's knees and then delivers a Meteora to Stratton from the second rope. The action spills to the outside and Stratton sends Vega into the barricade. Elektra Lopez then gets in Vega's face and Vega pulls her into the ringside area. Vega then hit with a spinebuster from Stratton as she makes her way back inside. Stupid babyface syndrome. Inside the ring, Stratton then hits Vega with a prettiest moonsault ever to finish the 1, 2, 3. And Miss Stratton doesn't deserve it. Seriously. She doesn't deserve it. What has she done on the main roster? Honestly, what has she done on the main roster? Diddly squat. She just came up from NXT and she was not even on TV for 6 weeks. And she gets put into this situation. I don't think that that's right. I think it should have been Zelina Vega. Biased. They call me biased, but she didn't deserve it at all. The phenomenal AJ Styles is then showed sitting backstage until the OC walks in. Styles pie-face Anderson and they trade jabs until they breathe heavily at each other. Styles then walks away and Anderson looks mad. Are we going to get some sort of discord with these guys, or are we going to possibly add somebody, maybe a Tama Tonga? I hope to God, maybe after WrestleMania. I don't know. We get a video message from women's champion Io Sky. The women's tag team champion Kairi Sane and Asuka, they spoke in Japanese, with Sky saying it is Io's era. Asuka then calls Dakota Kai and Sane did the same. Asuka then sends their message by saying no one's ready for Damage Control. We go for the next match, and it's a tag team match. Authors of Pain versus NXT stars Javier Bernal and Bo Morris. The match starts off with Akam and Bernal. Akam wastes no time in going after Bernal. Akam puts Bernal down, then tags in Razor. The Authors of Pain then drag Morris in the ring. Razor then blasts right hands on Morris before tagging Akam back in. Akam and Razor hit the Super Collider, finish, and a neckbreaker powerbomb combination for the win. And Mr. Cross, Father Cross, let me tell you, I have sinned terribly, and I need my penance. Mother Scarlet, I need to be taught a lesson, because it is the final testament in the Book of Cross. Yes, I went there, and I am sorry, but fucking Cross and Scarlet are fucking hot. Jesus Christ. Kill me now. Seriously. United States champion Logan Paul was interviewed backstage. Paul says all fans are welcome because he is going to knock The Miz out later. Paul said he's going to win the Elimination Chamber match and challenge Seth Rollins at WrestleMania to become a double champion. Footage show recapping Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, Rock, and Seth Rollins storylines then airs. We get an entrance for the next match for the second men's elimination qualifier match, which is Logan Paul versus The Miz. So the match starts with The Miz hitting shoulder tackle on Paul as well as an atomic drop, but Paul climbs to the top and then nails Miz with a crossbody. Paul then blasts Miz and hits a-lister with a leg drop and follows that up with a chop. Miz then hits Paul with chops of his own, then lands some Miz kicks and the a-lister as well as a shoulder on his midsection. Paul then hits a crossbody to Miz from the top rope. Miz then hits a couple of clotheslines on Paul and sends him into the corner. Miz then hits Paul with a flatliner, but Paul tries to hit Miz with a splash. Miz is able to avoid it and hits his patent kick on Paul. Paul then looks to escape, but Miz pulls him inside. Paul then holds on to the ring skirt, and the referee forces him to release it. While the referee is distracted, Paul rakes Miz's eyes and follows up with a skull-crushing finale. Paul goes for the pin, but Miz kicks out. Miz looks to hit his skull-crushing finale finisher on Paul, but Paul thwarts Miz's attempt. Miz goes for the figure four leg lock, but Paul makes it to the bottom rope to break the hold. The action spills to the outside, and Paul continues to wear Miz down. Logan then sees a pair of brass knuckles, but Miz nails Paul from behind before he can use them. Paul then hits Miz with a massive right hand to secure the win, and Logan is heading to the land down under. Of course, I had to do that. It's coming to an end. It's coming to a fucking end. I'm sorry. Oh, stop with the future endeavors, Terry, please. You're killing me. We then see backstage where Tiffany Stratton is speaking to Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. Jade Cargill then interrupts the conversation of all the women are drawing each other, and SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis then steps in and tells Stratton that it isn't time or place. Stratton then leaves, and Breaker, along with Cargill, walks out of the room with Aldis. Grayson Waller was then seen talking to Paul Heyman in the back before the next match. We then see the entrances of which is the second women's elimination chamber qualifying match, which is Alba Fire and Naomi. Remember, Shotzi Blackheart was supposed to be in this match, but because of her injury, she wasn't allowed to because of her ACL. So the match starts off with Fire and sending Naomi to the mat, then sends her into the second turnbuckle as well as face first. Naomi nails Fire with a kick on her head, then follows that up with a slap to Fire's face and a split leg drop. The action then spills into the ring, and Naomi and Isla Dawn get into each other's faces. Naomi then sends Fire into the ring steps face first. Naomi then hits Fire with a Hurricane Rana and follows up that with a drop kick. Naomi then hits Fire with a Bulldog before she climbs to the top rope and delivers a crossbody. Naomi then goes for a pin, but Fire kicks out. Fire then hits a facebuster. Naomi and Dawn hits a cheap shot on Naomi from the outside. Fire goes for the pin, but Naomi kicks out. Fire then looks to hit her gory bomb finisher, but Naomi escapes. Naomi hits a Dawn with an enziguri and locks in the glow finisher to secure the win, and she's landing to the land down under. Of course, because the bloodline's going to be there. Her husband's going to be there. So, of course, she's going to be there. Come on. And it's her first fucking BLE, and she's back. So, come on. So, we go backstage. And where Bayley is shown walking before she is interrupted by Dakota Kai. who tells Bailey that damage control is coming after her. Bailey says she doesn't know who she should trust. Bailey then says she couldn't talk and she walked away from Kai. SmackDown general manager is standing on the ramp with a microphone. Aldis introduced Braun Breaker as the newest member of the SmackDown roster. Breaker then makes his way out, signs the contract, and shakes Aldis's hand. The Bloodline was shown backstage walking basically to the ring. It is announced that on next week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, which was all taped, okay, because they're actually there in Australia right now. We'll see Tyler Bate versus and Pete Dunne face Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough in a tag team match. And the Street Profits battle AOP in tag team action. We'll also see Braun Breaker makes his SmackDown in-ring debut, and LA Knight takes on Drew McIntyre in a singles match. So, before I forget, there will be a press conference at 11 tomorrow night, or 11 tonight. It's after midnight. Sorry. So, please set your alarms about that, because I will be. The Bloodline. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa, and the special counsel, the wise man Paul Heyman, make their way down to the ring. Roman Reigns starts off by telling Salt Lake City to acknowledge him. Acknowledge me. Then calls for the people of Utah and fans at home dumb. Reigns also says when his cousin comes out, people may pay more attention to catchphrases rather than what they are saying. Reigns also says there is meaning to everything they say, and says tonight is the greatest night in WWE history because it is the first night they can officially say that The Rock is a member of the Bloodline. So The Rock comes out. The Rock starts off saying it has some good news to share and that the news would make everyone happy. The Rock says the crowd broke an all-time indoor attendance record for Salt Lake City and all of Utah. It was all sold out that night. So, also, they broke a record for the biggest gathering of trailer park trash, and the crowd finally booed. The Rock says, finally, your life is meaning and you have your 50 wives. We have a story to tell. Rock then calls the fans inbred. Rock then says he has come back to Salt Lake City and fans cheer. Rock then yells at the fan in the crowd and he calls them fatty and says he will slap the herpes off the fans' lips. Rock then says the biggest WrestleMania event was in the fans' hands, and the fans let it go. Rock says they flushed it down the toilet. Rock then mocks the fans, we want Cody. The Rock then asks what Cody's story is. The crowd then starts what chants. Rock then points out that Reigns beat Cody at WrestleMania last year. Rock then says Cody wants a rematch, but that is not how it works. Oh my God. Ready? Are we ready now? Are we completely fucking ready for this? Okay. I've been ready for this for fucking days now. Fucking asshole Rock has got to have taken chairs to the fucking head. Seriously. Or he's drinking too much of that Zoe or the Terramana. Sweetheart, unless you forgot how the rules go for the Royal fucking Rumble, the winner of the fucking Royal Rumble gets a title shot at WrestleMania. So guess what? He's exercising what he won. It's his prize. He is cashing it in, people. All right? Fucking Rock needs to start watching back a couple of years. I mean, I know you haven't been there. I know you haven't been in a wrestling ring and wrestling in years. But come on, it's not that hard. The Rock is a fucking moron. Did he fucking goddamn when he went and like, oh shit, I fucked up? No, he didn't. Because he's a fucking moron. That pissed me off. And I would have been the person would have said, I would have went up to him and I would have said, Rock, do you understand what you just said out there? No. Well, how has Cody not have earned it? He won the Royal Rumble back to back. Have you done that? Has the People Champ done that? Oh, hell no. Steve has done it. Sean has done it. You haven't. Rock then says logic is stupid. No, you're stupid, fucking asshole. The Rock then tells the fans to shut their mouths in response of what chants. The Rock asks the 49ers whined about their story. Then The Rock says the 49ers moved on like men. The Rock then says it's personal and referenced on how Michael Jordan crushed the dreams of the Utah Jazz. The Rock then says that Utah Jazz worked their asses off to get back to the top. Rock then says the real world doesn't mean people to get a shot at a story just because they want it. Rock then calls the fans spoiled, entitled, crybaby baby bitches. No, it's that we had to fix your fucking stupid decisions that legitimately didn't make sense. Or should we start calling The Rock Vince 2.0? Should we call him Vince 2.0? Because he's booking like Vince McMahon, and that scares the shit out of me. The Rock says he will do everything in his power to make sure Cody walks out of WrestleMania a loser. The Rock then says Cody's story is ending and the Bloodline story is just beginning. Then The Rock says, if you smell, but stops and says, if you smell what the Bloodline is cooking. The show then comes to a close. Basically, like it was like they were in a rush, basically. So that is that. You will get the go-home shows from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on Friday night, right after SmackDown at about 10:15, 10:30 for the preview and predictions. So tune into that, people. Seriously. Now we're going to go ahead to AEW Rampage. All right, Rampage was coming from the HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas. We started off with the no disqualification match, Jeff Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. Jeff taunted Sammy, slapping him in the face. Sammy fired back with a slap of his own, refusing to back down. We see Jeff's behavior change in the past week, said Excalibur. Jeff Hardy pulled a ladder from beneath the ring, but Sammy drop kicked it into Jeff's face. Jeff whipped Sammy into the guardrail. Jeff flew off the apron and wiped out Sammy on the floor. Sammy connected with a knee strike on the apron. Sammy nailed Jeff with a thrust kick. Sammy followed up with a foot stomp on the apron. Jeff lunged at Sammy with a drop kick. Jeff moved the ring steps. Jeff launched off the ring steps and crushed Sammy against the barricade. Jeff threw a steel chair at Sammy's head. Jeff began to climb the ladder in the middle of the ring. Sammy met Jeff on the opposite side of the ladder. The two exchanged blows and perched on the ladder. Jeff stunned Sammy with a twist of fate off the ladder for a near fall. Sammy was supposed to be watching his what he's doing in the ring, and he's really not. He's just making things worse. And Tay must be going fucking crazy right now. Jeff threw a steel chair at Sammy's head. Jeff began to climb the ladder in the middle of the ring. Sammy met Jeff on the opposite side of the ladder to exchange blows, perched on the ladder. Jeff stunned Sammy with a twist of fate off the ladder for a near fall. I already read that. I just, sorry. Matt Hardy set up another table at ringside along with a massive ladder. Jeff propped up Sammy on the table. Jeff began to climb the ladder, but Sammy got up and clubbed Jeff, preventing Jeff from ascending any higher. Sammy put Jeff between a steel chair and blasted Jeff with a cutter off the ropes. Sammy placed Jeff on the table at ringside. Sammy climbed the ladder all the way to the top. Sammy crashed down onto Jeff with a senton from the top of a massive ladder. Sammy hit a shooting star press on Jeff. Jeff countered by raising his knees into Sammy's ribcage, but Sammy's knee smacked into Jeff's face on the landing. Sammy reversed a twist of fate and scored a pinfall victory after the GTH. Powerhouse Hobbs jumped in the ring after the match, ambushing Sammy from behind with a spinebuster. Don Callis was clapping from ringside. Powerhouse Hobbs squashed Sammy with the world's most dangerous slam. And Jeff Hardy has a concussion, I believe, and I think a broken nose. So that is that. I get it. Oh, yeah. I'm sticking to the chair. This is a negligee. Renee Paquette was backstage with Machine Brian Cage and Prince Nana, talking with him ahead of his huge match next week on Dynamite when he teams with Swerve Strickland and AEW World Champion Samoa Joe to take on FTW champ Hook, Rob Van Dam, and Hangman Adam Page. Good night, Chris. Cage, I've got something to say. It doesn't matter who your partners are. Hook, I'm going to be real with you. You don't belong here. You come in here with a fad flavor of the month. And the fact that I go out there and they cheer you, it pisses me off. This is what I love. This is what I do. Everyone cheering for you when they should be cheering for me. I'm what a real wrestler looks like. I'm sick of taking back seat to you. Next Wednesday, you're going to get your ass beat. We go to Blackpool Combat Club. Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli were backstage. Moxley, you know what they say, you can't fix stupid, but you can choke FTR. Choke it. FTR are the standard bearer, and they are benchmark of a great tag team wrestling. You don't think we know tag team wrestling? You don't think we are every bit of artists when it comes to tag team wrestling that you are? Jon Moxley was with the Shield, and Claudio was with Sheamus in the Bar. Claudio, we don't walk around calling ourselves top guys. We just don't have to. We get results. We don't play this. We are this. Renee Paquette interviewed Ruby Soho backstage. Renee asked what she's expecting tonight now that Angelo Parker requests some time with her. Before Ruby could answer, Saraya and Cameron Henley walked onto the set. Saraya, I forgive you, by the way. Harley, you know what? I forgive you too. Ruby, you forgive me. Here's the thing. I'm not sorry. I've known all this time. Every bad thing that has happened to me lately, you've been behind. I'm hoping maybe it's because you were doing what you thought was best for me. But I'm a grown woman. You know what? I know what's best for me. And what's best for me is space, especially from you. Ruby walked off. Saraya, it's time to really end that. Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs, Ross and Marshall Von Erich versus Hit Shimbashi and Romeo Cruz. If I fucked up that name, I am so sorry. Dustin locked up with Hit. Dustin nailed Hit with a stiff strikes. Ross tagged in and landed a drop kick on Hit. Dustin came in and destroyed Cruz with a crossroads. Ross and Marshall locked in the claw on Shibashi and Hit, and Dustin finished Cruz with a final reckoning for the pin and the win. Nothing to write home about. Renee Paquette was backstage with AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm, Luther, the Butler, and Mariah May. Tony, you put Mariah May in an armbar, Tony. This is what you want, Deanna? Nobody likes a drama queen, Deanna, so piss off. Anna Jay versus Queen Amata. Amata took down Anna with a side headlock. Anna Jay walloped Queen with a backstabber for a near fall. They traded chops, but Queen Amata wiped out Anna with a snap suplex. She followed up with a running PK to Anna Jay. Anna Jay dodged a hip attack. Amata avoided a kick and then annihilated Jay with a boot slide for a 2 count. Amata countered with a Queen Slayer with a jawbreaker. Queen Amata had butted Anna Jay in the abdomen, and Anna Jay charged in. Queen Amata scored the pin on Anna Jay. Anna Jay needs to get the fuck out of AEW. Go to Stardom. Go to another promotion. Obviously, she's not getting what she wants there. Her fucking boyfriend is no longer in really AEW. Jungle Boy is over in fucking New Japan. Go to New Japan. Renee Paquette was backstage with Stokely Hathaway, Chris Statlander, and Willow Nightingale. Renee asked Willow if she's happy with her victory over Sky Blue. Willow freaked out and questioned Stokely's involvement in the match. Chris, this might have been my fault. We should have had a team meeting. I'll make sure this won't happen again. We'll try this one more time. Willow, okay, Stokely, you're going to shake on it? Chris forced Stokely to shake Willow's hand. So we're good here, right, Chris? Willow and Stokely nodded yes. Next, Renee interviewed Ruby Soho and Cool Hand Luke Parker. Angelo, I know this is kind of a weird place, but I wanted to start by saying Happy Valentine's Day. Ruby, you have had me feeling things I don't even know how to wrap my head around. I slipped you a note because I thought I lost you after what happened a few weeks ago with Harley. And you smashed the cake in my face. It was the only way I could get to you. Then I saw what you did last week on Rampage with Soraya. So I'm just going to go for broke. And Ruby, do you want to have a drink with me? I can't tonight because I have a red eye. But how about next week? Angela, yeah. Pick me up next Wednesday night, Cool Hand. Main event. The Bang Bang Scissor Game, the AEW World Trios Champion Daddy Ass and the Acclaim versus Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, and the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Champion, the Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, and Austin and Colton Gunn versus Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Sanamon Singh, and the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver. Dear fucking Jesus. Seriously. Lethal and White locked up first. Lethal used a side headlock takeover. Jeff Jarrett hit Jay White in the back with a knee. Then when White ran into the ropes, Evil Uno tagged in, and Jay White served stiff chops to Uno's chest. Colton grabbed a tag and splashed Evil in the corner. Colton followed up with drop kick. Caster and Evil Uno went while Caster held Evil Uno while Bowens nailed Evil Uno with scissor me timbers. Sanamon Singh tagged in and hurled Austin Gunn across the ring. Daddy Ass tagged in and cleaned house on the opposition. Billy bashed Reynolds with a famouser. Silver hit a flurry of offense on Bowens. Sonoman tried a double choke slam on the Acclaim, but Colton launched off of Alston and drilled Sonoman with a flying forearm. Colton blasted Lethal with a Colt 45. Jeff Jarrett jumped in and stunned Colton with with the stroke. Jay entered the fray and walloped Jeff Jarrett with a Blade Runner. Alex Reynolds shoved Daddy Ass into Jay White and then rolled up Daddy Ass for a near fall. Daddy Ass rocked Reynolds with a 310 to Yuma, and then Daddy Ass scored the pin. Who fucking cares? Honestly. So we're going to go to Wednesday. Dynamite, which is taking place in the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live or upload a video, you will know about it. Please. Also, follow me on all social media, which is Threads, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Cameo. If you want me to send a message, it's only $5. You're paying for my Starbucks, basically. I have magnified on the letters and I can't see it, so it was doing some weird things. Sorry. Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley versus FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. I want to make this a little situation before we go on. Cash Wheeler will be tried. He will be going to court. He will be going to trial for the weapons possession and the his what he got arrested for, and if he could serve up to 5 years in prison, and he'll be a felon. So it's Florida, and they could be assholes. I'm just letting you know. So Cash grabbed a single leg on Mox, and Mox returned with a forearm. Mox tagged out to Claudio, and Claudio blasted Cash with the European uppercuts. Cash swiped out Claudio's legs and tagged out to Dax. Claudio booted Dax in the midsection and then body slammed Dax. Dax retaliated with a slap suplex on Moxley. Dax hit a leg drop across the bridge of Moxley's nose. Good for a 2 count. Cash tagged in and Mox went for a rear naked choke, but Cash lowered his lips, using Mox's momentum to knock him out of the ring. Mox was infuriated and jumped right back in the ring, bowing right up to Cash's head to head. They exchanged forearms instead of the ring, but Dax headbutted Mox outside the ring, but Claudio ambushed Dax with the European uppercuts. Mox flew out of the ring with a tope directed at Cash, but Dax shoved his partner out of the way, acting as a human shield, and Dax took the brunt of Moxley's force. After Moxley landed, Cash shoved him into the ring steps. FTR pummeled Mox in the corner with an onslaught of strikes. FTR catapulted Mox into the bottom rope, throat first. Moxley blasted Dax with a King Kong lariat and tagged Claudio smothered Dax with the European uppercuts. Claudio managed to hoist up both members of FTR at the same time and planted them. Claudio with a superhuman strength, said Excalibur. Outside the ring, Moxley spiked Dax on the arena floor with an stuffed pile driver. Then Claudio jumped off the apron with an assist. Back in the ring, Dax displayed his fighting spirit, dodging Claudio and tagged out Cash Wheeler. Cash cleared house on the BCC. Cash countered a paradigm shift from Mox with a brainbuster for a near fall. Justin and Roberts announced 5 minutes remain. Cash hoisted up Moxley, and then Dax jumped off the top rope with a leg drop for a near fall on Moxley. That was super close, said Taz. Dax suplexed Moxley while Cash went for a splash off the top rope, but Moxley countered with a raising knee into Cash's ribs with minutes remaining. Claudio whipped Dax around the ring with a giant swing. Mox dropkicked Dax in the head and covered him, but Dax kicked out at 2. Moxley battered Dax with hammer and anvil and elbows and then applied a rear naked choke. Cash crawled back into the ring, tried to break up the bulldog choke, but Claudio grabbed Cash and applied the rear naked choke on Cash. There were 2 minutes remaining. Dueling submission, said Taz. Cash powered himself and Claudio up, getting to his feet, and then fell backwards on Moxley. Cash, out of sheer desperation, dropped his body weight and Claudio onto the pile, forced Moxley to break his grip, and said Excalibur. Now that's what you call multitasking. Good job by Cash, replied Taz. The fans chanted, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Dax took Moxley off his feet and applied the sharpshooter. Claudio tried to boot Dax in the head, but Cash ran interference and German suplex Claudio. Justin Roberts announced there was 1 minute remaining. Claudio wrapped up Cash in a sharpshooter, turned around, and began to trade strikes with Dax, who had Moxley in a sharpshooter. Claudio and Dax relinquished their holds and began exchanging shots in the center of the ring. Dax spiked Claudio with a pile driver. Mox there to cradle Dax with a crucifix, but Dax kicked at it too. Moxley went to a rear naked choke on Dax, but Dax escaped. Moxley was looking for the King Kong Lariat. FTR tried to counter the sharp shatter machine as Cash lifted up Mox for a portion of tandem finishing maneuvers as time ran out and the bell rang. So it was basically time expired. Hold on, my nose. So the time limit has expired. The bout was declared a draw by Justin Roberts. I think they had 10 more if they had 10 more seconds, I think FTR lands that shatter machine and maybe wins the match, said Excalibur. I agree. They were in the midst of the shatter machine and the bell sounded, which stopped it, said Tony Schiavone. Both teams began to brawl until the security and wrestlers from the locker room sprinted out to separate them. Renee Paquette was backstage to interview AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy. Renee wondered how Orange Cassidy was doing with all these matches these past weeks, and if he was medically cleared to wrestle. Orange replied, "Well, that's why Doc Samson is standing here in the hallway. He's going to let me know." Doc Samson said that Orange was cleared barely to compete. Orange, "If I'm cleared, I'm going to wrestle." Orange said he was taking Trent's place tonight. Alex Marvez was backstage to interview FTR. "Dax, we came here to kick BCC's ass because they think they run this place. We don't bow down to no one. Revolution is coming up. We don't have a match. They don't have a match. So what I say is the Blackpool Combat Club interrupted the interview, and both teams were separated by AEW security and the officials once again." AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy versus Ring of Honor World Champion Mike Bennett. So he took on, I believe it was Matt Tavern last week. So it's this one this week. Whatever. Orange Cassidy and Undisputed Kingdom charged at the Undisputed Kingdom as they were making their entrance and clobbered Tavern with an orange punch. Cassidy stomped on Bennett in the corner. The ref pulled Orange back, and Bennett seized the opportunity to hit Orange with a suplex. Orange rallied back with Stundog Millionaire, and then he landed a DDT on Bennett. Roderick Strong ran down to the ring and jumped on the apron. The ref had to keep Roderick back and prevent him from entering the ring. The ref was dealing with Roddy. Mike Bennett nailed Orange with a blatant low blow. Bennett rocked Orange with a pile driver for a near fall. Bennett got overconfident and grabbed Tony Schiavone's headset and began to insult Orange over the headset. When Bennett put the headset down on the announcer's desk, Orange flew out of the ring with a toe pad. Bennett took his eyes off his opponent for a moment and paid the price, said Excalibur. Bennett fired back with a Death Valley driver on Orange on the arena floor. Somehow, Orange managed to clock Bennett with a orange punch. The guy is a machine, said Taz. Mike Bennett regained momentum with a Gotch-style pile driver on Cassidy. Bennett hit 2 rolling elbow strikes on Orange. Bennett was looking for another pile driver, but Orange countered it with the beach break out of nowhere and pinned Bennett. Matt Tavern jumped in the ring after the match and stomped Orange. Roderick Strong returned and was about to double team Orange. Then Jake Hager raged down to the ring. Hager cleared the house of the Undisputed Kingdom, coming to the aid of Orange Cassidy. Tony Khan informed Excalibur over the headset this Friday on Rampage it will be Roderick Strong versus Jake Hager. There you go. Renee Paquette was backstage with Angela Parker about to go on his big day with Ruby Soho. Ruby walked up to them smiling and told Renee she'd tell her all about Friday night. Angela offered his arm to Ruby and asked if she was ready to go. A white SUV pulled up and Ruby asked if that was their ride. Angelo said, "No, we've got a lift." They walked away and the Nature Boy Ric Flair exited the SUV. Flair, I'm disappointed. When I signed up for this, I thought I'd be a bigger part of the picture. I'm not upset with Sting, but I'm just upset that I'm not more involved. I feel like I should be in the middle of things, and I haven't been. So between you and me, I'm just going to explore some options. I'm not going to try. I'm not trying to put you in the middle, but I'm just telling you the truth. Ric Flair walked away, knocked on the nearby dressing room door. The Young Bucks opened the door. Matthew Jackson asked Rick what he wanted. Rick asked if they had time. They had time. "Let's talk," replied Matthew, inviting Flair in. Do we actually fucking need Ric Flair? And I'm going to I dawned on me right now. I'm not talking about Velveteen Dream. All right? So for the people who are asking, not talking about it. My prerogative, my fucking playpen, my show. Tony Schiavone was in the ring to interview Daniel Garcia. Tony said, after what happened to the rated R superstar Adam Copeland last week, Copeland is on the shelf and is unable to compete. Tony said that AEW Revolution, Daniel Garcia will get his shot at the TNT Championship against Christian Cage. The fans chanted, "You deserve it, you deserve it." Garcia, a lot of time I feel like I don't deserve it. So thank you for saying that. I always feel like that in this business, I was destined for great things. But a couple of months ago, I was at the lowest point of my life. I started to lose confidence. I started to lose that feeling. I really did. But I knew that things were going. I knew that. But I knew that going through all of that, 3 seconds is all I needed. And at the end of the Continental Classic, I got 3 seconds. Those 3 seconds changed my life. Every single time I got down, y'all picked me back up. Every time I danced, y'all danced with me. And I can't say thank you enough for helping me restore that feeling. And Adam Copeland, no one knows how that match would have ended last week, but I fully confident that if the match went on any longer, I could have made you tap out. It's not even between you and me, but the next time you see me, I will be holding the TNT title. And that brings me to Revolution. Christian Cage, I have a message for you. When you step in the ring with me, I'm going to take you down. TNT champion Christian Cage walked onto the ramp with the patriarch Nick Wayne Killswitch and Mother Wayne. By the way, she's got a fucking stat thing on the website, so go check that out. Christian Cage, Adam Copeland will not have another chance at my TNT championship ever. Do you understand me? Daniel, what happened to you last week was just a byproduct of you standing in the ring with Adam Copeland. But it worked out pretty well for you because now you're the number one contender for my TNT championship at Revolution. You've been on a hell of a run yet lately, but I have to say, as much as I love to step in the ring with you, I really don't think it should happen at Revolution. And it's not that I don't think you're worthy, it's that I don't think you're ready. You just want to make these people smile and be entertained by your dance moves. I just want to leave the arena every night as the most dominant TNT champion of all time. We both know why you're the way you are, don't we? I know something that these people don't know. That you had a pretty dark childhood, didn't you? You didn't have many happy memories. You didn't know Jackie Garcia that lives in Buffalo, New York. And you could confirm that Jackie was married to David Garcia. And I understand David Garcia is your father and your father is dead. Now, wouldn't it be a beautiful fairy tale ending if you walk into Revolution with my TNT championship raised above your head in memory of your late great father? But let's be honest, your father wasn't so great, was he? He was a loser that lost his life to the bottle. And unlike him, I don't want to hurt you. I want to help you. At Revolution, I don't want to be your opponent. I want to be your father. Garcia, since you know so much about my dead father, why don't you come to the ring? And I'll put you right in the ground next to him. Christian Cage sent Nick Wayne to do his dirty work. Nick Wayne charged at Daniel Garcia and sidestepped Wayne and put him in a sharpshooter. Killswitch came down to the ring. Next, Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, out of nowhere, smacked Killswitch in the back with a steel chair. That backfired on Christian Cage, said Taz. You blinked, this match was over. And I'm not kidding. AEW World Women's Champion Timeless Toni Storm versus Sidini Winnell. Sorry. Toni Storm and Toni stormed Cindetti and stopped her in the corner. Toni ground and pound Cindetti. Toni splashed Cindetti and clobbered her with a running bulldog. Toni hit a hip attack and planted Cindetti with a Storm Zero, locked in the leg, break a leg submission and released it. Toni opted instead for the Venus de Malo and won by submission. Okay. We go into another fucking women's match, which blinked, it was over. The Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo versus Madison Rayne. Deonna took down Madison with a snapmare. Deonna wiped out Rayne with a pump kick. Deonna smashed Madison with a knee strike to the face. Madison rolled up Deonna, but Deonna kicked out at 1 count. Deonna applied Toni Storm's break a leg, and forced Madison to tap out, sending a message to AEW Women's World Champion. After the match, Toni ran to the ring and tried to whack Deonna with a shoe. Deonna ducked it and countered with a pump kick. Deonna swung at Mariah May, but Mariah backed up. Toni grabbed Deonna from behind and locked in the break a leg on Deonna. Big deal. AEW World Tag Team Champions had an important message for the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Darby, when you're close to the end, you look back at life, and it really puts things in perspective. The fame, the spotlight, the material things that we chase that don't mean a thing. We were looking at some old photos today. Sting, it's okay if we show them to the Bucks. Yeah, Sting said. Darby showed a picture of Sting with Sting's sons when they were children. Darby said when the photos were taken, Sting's sons were about the same age as the Bucks kids are now. This is this man's flesh and blood. This is the only thing in his life that matters in the end. It's family, said Darby. Sting, you hit the nail on the head, Darby. Family is all that matters. It strikes a nerve right now because in all my years as a pro wrestler, no one has ever messed with my own flesh and blood until you. Bucks, lots going on in my personal life the last couple days. The Bucks attacked my son, and only 7 days ago, my father passed away. It was like a hero to me. He taught me right, makes me think a lot about my own mortality. I used to think I was so invincible. Sometimes I still feel that way, but time catches up to everyone and caught me for sure. I know I'm truly not invincible, but one thing I do know, everything I have left in me, I bring to Revolution. You have a fight on your hands, Bucks, the fight of your life. Sorry, just this gets me. Many of you may know my mom passed away 2 years ago, almost 2 years next month. So for somebody to lose their parents, it chokes me up. And when my mom passed away, it questioned my mortality. So go to Tony Schiavone in the ring with Wardlow. Wardlow, get out of my ring before I knock you down again. I'm pissed. I've been pissed off for a long time. 2 years ago, I had thousands of people chanting my name, city after city, in a manner that has never been heard before in decades. I was the next big thing, but apparently the rocket was strapped to my back was put upside down because ever since I've been driven into the ground and screwed over and over again. You think the one true homegrown day one original AEW megastar would have been a champion long ago, but I've never received an opportunity for the AEW world title, and people back there needs to be fired or thrown in jail for that fact. But let's look at some people who have held it. There's kings, there's gods. So what does that make me? Because the best in the world, the real heavyweight champion, I beat his ass like nobody has in his entire career. His body is still falling apart from me. Which brings me to our former champ, the guy who's better than us and we know it. I squashed him like an insect, which brings me to the most dangerous man in the room, our king, the current champion, Samoa Joe. Can somebody remind me when he and I were in the ring? Oh, yeah, that's right. I choked his ass out and I beat him too. So again, I ask, what does that make me? Because it sounds like it makes me best in the world. It sounds like I'm better than you and you know it. It sounds like I'm the most dangerous man in the room. I'm an uncrowned king of AEW, and it's time I start eating like one because I have been starving. I am done being fed scraps. I'm everything a world champion is supposed to be. And there's no one bigger, badder, faster, or stronger than me. There is no one could stop me. And if anybody wants to get in my way, This is no longer wrestling. This is war. Sweetheart. um, no arguments for me. No arguments for me. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang was backstage. Switchblade Jay White suggested that on the next collision, he, along with Colton and Billy, team up with the Collision Cowboys representing the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, said it didn't matter about combos. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang rules the world. Excalibur announced that Will Ospreay will be on Dynamite next week on Wednesday. Tony Khan informed Excalibur that Wardlow will be competing in the Meat Madness at Revolution. Renee Paquette was backstage with Don Callis' family. Hold on, my nose is dripping and it's ridiculous. Renee asked Don how Will Ospreay against Takeshi at Revolution will benefit the Don Callis family. Callis said because win or lose, the two of the best rope wrestlers will still be part of the Don Callis family. Callis said he was on his way to the UK in a private jet to pick up Ospreay. Callis said that the powerhouse Hobbs was going to do damage in Meat Madness at Revolution. Don said that Don Callis' family and Sammy Guevara had a score to settle at Rampage. Main event trios match. AEW World Champion Samoa Joe, The Machine Brian Cage, and Swerve Strickland versus FTW Champion Hook, Hangman Adam Page, and Rob Van Dam, which he is the WWE Hall of Famer. Samoa Joe and Hook started the match for their respective teams. They locked horns and Joe planted Hook. Hook ran off the ropes and hit Joe with a forearm, taking Joe off his feet. Samoa Joe battered Hook in the corner. Brian Cage tagged in and isolated Hook in the corner with chops. Hook escaped and tagged RVD. RVD was looking for a monkey flip, but Cage rammed RVD into the turnbuckles. Swerve grabbed a tag and ate a kick from Rob Van Dam. RVD used powerful legs to monkey flip Swerve. Hangman tagged himself in and had a stare down with Swerve. They began to brawl, and Hook and Cage had to peel their partners away. Samoa Joe and tagged in and bulldozed Hook in the corner with suplexes. In the corner with strikes. Cage entered and rocked Hook with a delayed vertical suplex. Hook stunned Cage with a DDT. RVD tagged in and cleared house with his educated feet. RVD crushed Swerve with a rolling thunder. Rob Van Dam smashed Cage with a frog splash. Samoa Joe ran in to break up the pin attempt. Samoa Joe splashed Rob Van Dam in the corner. Samoa Joe rocked RVD with jabs. Joe headbutted RVD. Rob Van Dam took Samoa Joe off his feet with a springboard kick. Hangman tagged in and dished out lariats in the back of Swerve's head. Hangman reversed a powerbomb from Cage with a Hurricane Rana. Hangman jumped off the top rope with a diamond crossbody press, but Brian Cage caught him. Hangman slipped free and drilled Cage with a Death Valley driver for a near fall. Samoa Joe jumped in and booted Page. Okay, cool, Tarot Destroyer. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, she didn't even do anything. That's just my opinion. Yeah. She didn't do anything. She's a soap opera writer. You don't hire a soap opera writer. So Samoa Joe jumped in and booted Paige. Hook entered the fray and blasted Samoa Joe with a lariat. Swerve grabbed Hook and planted him with a brainbuster. RVD jumped off the top rope and nailed Swerve with a kick. Cage countered with a pump handles powerbomb on RVD. Page was looking to hit Cage with a buckshot lariat, but he spotted Swerve on the floor. Rather than go for the win, Page climbed to the top rope. Cage climbed up to suplex Page, but Hook got up behind Cage and German suplex Cage. Hook locked in Cage. Hook locked Cage in the red rum, but Cage tagged Samoa Joe. Swerve grabbed Hook, but Hook put Swerve in a red rum. Swerve escaped. Cage power bombed Hook. Swerve rocked Hook with a house call kick. Swerve ducked a buckshot lariat from Page, but Page ended up with walloping Cage with it. Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland met in the ring and glared at each other. Samoa Joe booted Page in the jaw. Joe followed up with a tope to Hangman, diving Hangman into the announce desk. Swerve was on the apron and went to kick Page, but Cage ducked and Swerve inadvertently connected with Joe. Hangman Page grabbed Swerve off the apron and powerbombed him through the announcer's desk. Back in the ring, Samoa Joe ducked a buckshot lariat and countered with a power slam and to Hangman for a near fall. Samoa Joe tried for a muscle buster on Page, but Page broke free. RVD jumped back into the ring, but Samoa Joe swarmed him in the corner. Hook snuck up from behind Joe and from behind Samoa Joe and then sent him for a ride with a T-bone suplex. RVD headed to the top looking for a 5-star frog splash, but Cage shoved RVD off the top. Cage wiped out Hook with a discus lariat. Samoa Joe locked in a real naked choke and won for the team via ref stoppage. Wow, that was a prelude to Revolution 1 week from Sunday, said Tony Schiavone. Rampage is coming from they're taping it as we speak, I believe. And they're going to be coming from the Great Southern Bank Arena in Springfield, Missouri for Collision, and Dynamite is coming from the Props Arena in Von Braun, Canada, in Huntsville, Alabama. And on Collision will be Thunder Rosa and Action Serena Deeb in competition, the American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus John Ackerman, and much, much more. So tune in tomorrow. So if you're wondering, there was no Collision this week. It was preempted. We're going to go right into the standings, and then I'm going to get you out of here, and then you can have a great evening or a good morning at this point. Standings for February 10th. Men's Championships. We have Samoa Joe, World Champion. Christian Cage, TNT Champion. Orange Cassidy, International Champion. Eddie Kingston, Continental Crown Champion. The contenders are number 1, Swerve Strickland. Number 1, Adam Page. 3, Adam Copeland. 4, John Moxley. And 5, Konosuke Takesha. Women's champions. Titleist Toni Storm, AEW World Women's Champion. TBS Champion Julia Hart. Contenders. Number 1, Deonna Purrazzo. Number 2, Thunder Rosa. Number 3, Hikaru Shida. Number 4, Sky Blue. Number 5, Mariah May. Tag Team Champions. World Tag Team Champions Sting and Darby Allin. Number 1 contenders, Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Number 2, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. Number 3, Top Flight. Number 4, Private Party. Number 5, FTR. Trios Champions, The Acclaim and Daddy Ass Champions. Contenders, FTR and Daniel Garcia. 2, Bullet Club Gold. 3, the Hardy Boys and Mark Briscoe. 4, the Blackpool Combat Club. Number 5, the Dark Order. Now, there was an announcement. The Briscoes are going to be inducted into the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame. Congratulations to them. And that is it. That is it. You're going to get me Friday night between 10:15 and 10:30, depending on how fast I can get on here. Please do me a favor. Go like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the bell for all notifications so when I go live or upload a video, you will know about it. Please also go follow me on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, TikTok, and Cameo. All Mel's Mat Chat. Please go check out the people over at Maestro Classics at maestroclassics.com. Go visit the people over at Liquid Death at liquiddeath.com. Go visit the people over at Death Wish Coffee at deathwishcoffee.com. And if you want to support independent professional wrestling, please go check out HOG Wrestling House of Glory. Their next event is Saturday, March 2nd. We have the debuts of Mustafa Ali versus Alex Shelley, former TNA champion. For the Crown Jewel Championship, Lo Sombra versus Lance Anoa'i. Hog, World Heavyweight Champion, Penta El Zito Miedo versus Mike Santana. Friday, April 5th, Wrestling Revolver and House of Glory will be having a show together at WrestleMania weekend. Mustafa Ali versus Amazing Red. Alex Shelley versus Mike Santana for the HOG World Championship. Grizzled Young Veterans, The Rascals, and Steve Macklin versus Charles Mason will be there. Those tickets go on sale, worldrevolvertickets.com, I think. You just have to go on their website. You'll find out. Saturday, May 5th, Hog is going to Boston, and they are going to have El Helio Vikingo, the AAA Mega Heavyweight Champion from AAA Mexico. If you want to see these events, they will be on the Premiere app. Please download it on all app stores, and the fee is $9.99 a month. I will be back here on Friday again at 10:15 or 10:30, depending on how fast I can get on here. I'm hoping to get on here very quickly because I like to go to bed and get like maybe 2 hours of sleep before I have to get up and go see my son. So please look for that. And please, April is coming very quickly, and it's not just WrestleMania. It is Autism Awareness. I have been an advocate before advocacy was cool. I am just hoping that you can find it in your heart and put it on your calendar. April 2nd is World Autism Awareness Day. Please hashtag it. Wear blue, light up blue on social media. Please tag me in it, and let's be the voice of the voiceless. It's a very close cause with me. Please do that, and we shall hopefully come with a cure for this, because my son is been diagnosed since he's 3, and I'm hoping to maybe get some progress and everything. So World Autism Awareness Day, April 2nd. Wear blue, because I wear blue. Why aren't you? So have a great evening, and I will see you Friday after SmackDown. I love you all, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Good night. Love you all.